What's up, Marvel fans? Today, we're putting the spotlight on a character who's often misunderstood, sometimes disliked, but undeniably one of the most important mutants in history. That's right, we're diving deep into the man, the myth, the legend Scott Summers, better known as Cyclops. Now, a lot of people see Cyclops as the Boy Scout, the stiff-by-the-book leader of the X-Men. And while he is a brilliant strategist and a natural leader, there's so much more to him than just following Professor X's orders. His story is one of tragedy, immense power, and a constant struggle for control. Let's start with those iconic optic blasts. Many people think he shoots lasers from his eyes, but that's not quite right. His eyes are actually portals to a non-spatial dimension, a universe filled with pure, concussive force. These beams don't generate heat unless they hit something with enough force for a long enough time. That's why he can knock down a building, but not necessarily set it on fire instantly. It's pure kinetic energy. And the reason he can't control it? A childhood trauma. When Scott was a young boy, he and his younger brother Alex were on a plane with their parents when it was attacked by a sheer alien spacecraft. To save her sons, their mother pushed them out of the plane with the only parachute. Scott hit his head upon landing, and this brain damage is what prevents him from ever turning off his powers. He's been forced to see the world through a ruby quartz lens ever since. For years, Scott and Alex believed their parents had died in the crash. But the Marvel Universe loves a good plot twist. Their father, Christopher Summers, was actually abducted by the Sheer and became the swashbuckling space pirate known as Corsair, leader of the Starjammers. It was years later, during an adventure in space, that the X-Men encountered the Starjammers, and Scott finally learned the truth about his father. Talk about a family reunion. Now, you can't talk about Cyclops without mentioning his complex love life. His first and most famous love is, of course, Jean Grey. Their relationship is the stuff of legend, a cornerstone of the X-Men saga. They were two of the original 5 X-Men, growing up together and falling in love at Xavier's school. Their bond was so deep it resonated across timelines and even defied death itself. But things got complicated, as they always do. After Jean's apparent death as the Phoenix, a grieving Scott met Madeline Pryor, a pilot who looked identical to Jean. They fell in love, got married, and even had a son, Nathan. But in a truly dark twist, it was revealed that Madeline was actually a clone of Jean Grey, created by the villain Mr. Sinister. When the real Jean returned, Scott left Madeline to form X-Factor with the original team, a decision that still has fans debating to this day. This abandonment pushed Madeline down a dark path, transforming her into the demonic Goblin Queen. Let's talk about Mr. Sinister for a moment because he's obsessed with the Summers Grey bloodline. He believed that the union of Scott Summers and Jean Grey would produce a mutant powerful enough to defeat his ancient enemy, Apocalypse. That's why he orchestrated so much of Scott's life, including creating Madeline to ensure the birth of Nathan Summers. And who is Nathan Summers? You probably know him better as Cable, the time-traveling, cybernetically enhanced soldier with a giant gun. After being infected with a techno-organic virus as an infant, Scott had to make the heart-wrenching decision to send his son into the future, hoping they would have the technology to save him. This act haunted Scott for years, adding another layer of tragedy to his character. Beyond his personal drama, Cyclops' leadership style has evolved dramatically. He started as Charles Xavier's star pupil, fully believing in the dream of peaceful coexistence between humans and mutants. But after events like the M-Day, where the mutant population was decimated, Scott's perspective hardened. He became a more militant, pragmatic leader, willing to make the tough, sometimes morally questionable decisions to protect what was left of his people. This transformation was really showcased during his time leading the mutants on the island nation of Utopia. He was no longer just the leader of the X-Men. He was the leader of the entire mutant race. He declared that the X-Men were no longer just a team of superheroes. They were an army, there to protect mutants at all costs. This put him at odds with many of his old friends, most notably Wolverine, leading to a major split in the X-Men known as the Schism. Then came the Phoenix Force. During the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, Cyclops became one of the Phoenix Five, wielding a fraction of the cosmic entity's power. Believing he could use it to save the mutant race, he grew more and more corrupt, eventually absorbing the full power and killing his mentor, Charles Xavier. This act branded him a villain in the eyes of the world and many of his former allies. After this, he became a revolutionary figure, leading a new team of X-Men and recruiting new mutants. He was no longer the Boy Scout. He was a wanted man, fighting for a cause he believed in, even if his methods were extreme. His journey is a perfect example of how the weight of leadership and constant crisis can change a person. Even his powers have had interesting developments. For a time, his powers were broken, and his optic blasts were unpredictable and uncontrolled in a new way. More recently, in the Krakoan era, Cyclops has taken on the role of Captain Commander, leading the X-Men and all of Krakoa's mutant forces. He's found a new balance, reconciling his past as both a hero and a revolutionary. He's a father, a husband again to Jean Grey, and the ultimate field general for his people. So, from a traumatized orphan to a hopeful hero, a grieving husband, a militant general, a cosmic-powered villain, and a revolutionary leader, Scott Summers has been through it all. He's made mistakes, big ones, but everything he's ever done has been for the survival of mutants. He's not just the guy who shoots beams from his eyes. He is the heart, the soul, and the unwavering will of the X-Men. What's your favorite Cyclops moment? Do you think he's a hero or a villain? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite characters. See you next time.